We've been asking for help from the police. We've been asking for help from Kristen Wong-Tam, and the police have done what they can. Kristen Wong-Tam keeps passing the buck. And it's just, we end up in these meetings, we have these virtual meetings, and, they're 1 hour long, and a half hour of the meeting is people passing the buck as to why they can't help us.
What we have here is an area where the residents have taken into their own hands, their own law enforcement. Not only have they hired a company to go and patrol this area, but they're crowdfunding it to get help for the help that they don't think is coming.
They don't tell us how they can help us. We spend a half hour hearing why they can't help us, and then they spend a half hour listening to our stories and saying we feel really badly about that. So we don't have any faith that there's anything that they can do, and that's why we're doing this.
Our Ontario Street Parkette there, it's a common spot for activity, but also it's been burned down like 3 or 4 times. It's just actually recently been remodeled.
A lot of the neighbors I've met is usually after an incident, say where they've been chased through the neighborhood. I've had a number of chases myself on foot through the neighborhood. I had one yesterday where I had to actually run into my home, and the person continued to beat on my home till the emergency services arrived.
We've been asking for housing first. We've been asking, house these people, help these people out, and the city says all day long, oh, we're going to help them. We have these plans. We've heard about plans for forever, and none of them seem to do anything. This is our last ditch attempt, because we need help right now.
So the areas of Berkeley and Ontario Street and Poulette are beautiful old Victorian homes, and it's a great part of the city, the history here, but it's also a problem area with drugs and crime and shootings and swarmings. It's not really a nice experience for many people, including many broken into cars.
In the 4 nights that have been patrolled, we've had 0 overdoses, 0 overdose deaths. Now, 0 overdose deaths in this area, in this little block, is a big deal because there was a week previous that there was 5 overdose deaths in this block. So we had 0 overdoses in those 4 nights, 0 overdose deaths. We had 0 break-ins. We had no assaults.
The problem when the system doesn't do its job or is perceived to not be doing its job is that people take it into their own hands, and the system doesn't like that very much, and they'll push back. But the reality is that there's nothing illegal about hiring your own security, and especially when most of the houses have been broken into or have an experience like that. So it's not going to work to try to intimidate people to not protect themselves, and that's what they're doing here in the lower part of Cabbagetown.